stories up. My mother and father owned this building for more than 40 years, long before you were born.
Get down!
They lived here most of their lives. And when they passed away, I sold the building. Zelda and I moved our family to Long Island. Forest Hills. Whole neighborhood moved to Forest Hills. 1966. A long time ago.
Get down from there!
It's okay, I won't fall.
I don't believe you.
I grew up on these walls, young lady. This was playground for Tevye and me.
That must have been 75 years ago.
You are right.
How right?
Yeah, it's 79 years old. 75 years. I came over on the boat from Germany in 1928. You know? Still a baby, 2 years old, just in time for depression. How old are you?
18. Well, you can't stay here, man. This is my playground now, and I need my space.
I will be very quiet. You won't even know I'm here. I won't disturb you.
Yes, you will. You don't understand. I need my solitude. You know, solitude, alone. I can't have anyone here disturbing my concentration. Now get down before I call the super.
Okay, okay. There you go. You go to college.
Yes, City College.
I promise I won't bother you. If you like, I go all the way over to the other side. Oh, no, it's not there anymore.
What's not there anymore?
A hideaway. Tevye and I built a fort to protect us from the Indians.
Fort?
Yeah.
To protect you from the Indians?
Yeah, wild Indians invading from the alley. They come up the fire escape to steal our bagels.
Bagels?
Yeah.
Look, this city hasn't seen a wild Indian in 300 or 400 years, and never bagel still wild.
No, we just pretend they were Indians. They were Irish and Italian kids from the neighborhood. Beat them back. Pretty soon they left. And it was just us, just Yiddish kids.
Yiddish?
Yeah, Jews from Eastern Europe. The streets were very bad then. Papa forbid us to play in the streets. It's too dangerous, too many temptations. So, we played up here. It's fixed up pretty nice now. You live here, you know tenements. 3 rooms. Little room for sister and me, front room for mama and papa, kitchen, that's it. 20 apartments crammed with people, sometimes 150 people in the tenements.
Look, old man.
Fyvush Glick. Used to be Glickstein, but Papa dropped the steam. Too un-American, he said. It's better to be Jewish American than Jewish German American.
Look, old Fyvush.
Fyvush. You got it.
I don't know where you've been, but my family's apartment takes up the entire floor.
Well, tenement living is not what it used to be. You know, in the old days, there were tenements.
Yeah, I'd like to hear your stories, but you gotta get off the edge of the roof. You're making me nervous. And I need my space.
What do you mean? You got plenty of space here. Look at all this. Hey, what is your name?
Mitzi?
Yeah, well, Shalom Mitzi. I am pleased to meet you. Are you Japanese or Chinese?
No, I'm Korean. Ongyong Haseo. That means hello in Korean.
Well, Shalom Mitzi. Shalom means hello, goodbye, peace, God be with you, whatever. I sit down here, I'll be very quiet.
I'll find another space, the basement.
Basement, rats, terrible.
Rats!
You chase the rats off the roof, they run down to the basement. Chase them out of the basement, they run back up onto the roof. Terrible, big rats. How they got so big in a poor neighborhood, I don't know. But Papa used to go down to the basement and with a pitchfork, when we'd stoke the furnace, and he'd throw that pitchfork like a spear or harpoon. Stack the dead rats up in a pile and shovel them into the furnace.
How long do you intend to stay here, Fyvush?
Long enough to take care of business. Not long.
Oh, I'm going to lose my sunset because of you. I've never seen any rats up here.
You went looking for them. Besides, it's too early. They cross the roofs down here, go into the garbage cans in the alley.
How much later?
A couple hours when it gets dark. bakery is gone. Hannah Weinberg closed the dress shop. What is this here? Jew on gold regard. Newspapers, sandwiches, sodas, lottery tickets. This is a deli.
No, that's Juan's Bodega, a Spanish for grocery store. Chitra, the woman from New Delhi, owns the deli. Abe's Deli. Used to belong to a man named Abe, down the street and around the corner. Quiet old man.
Abe Goodman. Abe is gone. Yeah. Mueller's Fresh used to be over there for years. I used to steal apples from his market. Yeah. He'd probably come by in the evening and say, "Has my Fyvush abused your kindness today, Mr. Mueller? How much do I owe you?" It was nice. Yeah.
Quiet.
Sorry. Zelda used to complain about my talking when she was cooking. You know? She said she couldn't concentrate. Famak to moil. Stop babbling on and on. I wanted to be near her.
Quiet. You promised.
I wonder if Ratner's Bagels is still over on Delancey. You know, good bagels, good Jewish rye, vodka, hard roll. You can't get good hard rolls anymore. Heavy like rocks they are. Oh, no. This just might take up. It just blew over. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you scared me.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, Zelda and I used to have our tea every evening. You drink tea?
You think because I'm Korean I drink tea? I don't drink tea.
Sorry. Well, we would come up here and drink our tea and talk about our day, discuss the children, what would they do with their lives, where they would go to college, what did they do.
Fyvush, quiet.
Sorry. I talk too much.
How many children?
2. 1 boy, 1 girl.
So where are they now?
The boy, Aaron, is in Gaza settlement, Israel. He's farmer. And Sharon wants to clear the Gaza settlements. I don't know what's going to happen to them. 3 grandchildren. The oldest I have not seen since they left 8 years ago. The other 2, I've never seen, only pictures.
What about your daughter?
She's a doctor. A doctor of children. Africa, Uganda. Golda, we named her after Golda Meir, the mother of Israel, the hero of children.
Pediatrician.
Yes! Pediatrish. Zelda did not like to talk about business. She loved to talk about politics, though. She was a very liberal Democrat, my Zelda. And I pretend to be Republican. You know, what good is argument if we both agree, you know?
Well, I know that my dad's Republican. My mom, I don't know. She voted for the first Bush and then for Clinton. So what does that make her? Democrat?
I don't know, but, you know, Clinton did a pretty good job, despite his improprieties.
So where's Zelda?
Gone. My Zelda is gone.
Oh. When?
1 year. 1 year today.
How did she die?
She was the first girl I ever kissed. Up here on this roof. You know, right there by the chimney. It was the warmest spot on the roof. You know, we cuddled around it, keep warm. She was the only girl I ever kissed. Shane wie de lagoon. She was as pretty as the moon.
Well, if only that old chimney could talk, huh?
Talk? What do you mean? I was a gentleman. There was no hanky-panky here.
Okay, sorry. So where'd you meet?
Synagogue. All young Jews then met the future in synagogue. Now, who knows? That was 1946. She just got out boat. Couldn't speak English. But I speak Yiddish. We got along.
I bet you do. Fyvush, I'm a weird 18-year-old college student. You're 70-something. I don't want you having a heart attack up here. I wouldn't know how to explain it. My parents, nosy neighbors, the police.
The police wouldn't recognize me.
Why would you expect the police to recognize you?
Well, it's been a long time. They have forgotten.
You didn't answer my question. Forgotten what?
It has been a long time. The police would not recognize me. This is none of your business.
There you go again. Why don't you just go back to Long Island City or wherever you came from?
Forest Hills.
So what's in the old suitcase?
What was dance?
Change the subject, Howard. You're not supposed to see me dancing.
Why not?
I dance for me. It's a dance my grandmother taught me.
My grandmother taught me the horror of
Fyvush.
Let's see, you do the Korean dance, then we dance the horror.
No, if my friends saw me dancing this way, they'd laugh. They make fun of me. Tell me I'm not American enough.
With hair like that, you're not American, but...
No.
Oh, look at that. I don't like wig. Better you should be natural.
I take it off when I do my Korean dances. I make my own costumes. No one recognizes me when I have it on. The dances have been handed down as oglondai from my grandmother's home in Korea.
Well, your Bubby would be very proud of you. Dance.
She's gone, and I don't have my costume with me.
Well, we didn't stop you from before, so dance.
I was just practicing, and the music's on my CD. You wouldn't be able to hear it.
Who needs to hear? Dance like you did before.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We use a lot of natural movements. We try to express the nature of the animals we seek to honor with dance. This is the dance of the spring nightingale. This is the crane dance. This is the lion dance. Other dances include the monkey, the stork, and the tortoise. I move spontaneously. When I pause, I suspend my breathing and become motionless, which becomes part of the movement. I seek harmony with nature. I feel the animal from my chest to my fingers to my toes.
That was beautiful. You know, your dance reminds me of our wedding night. Zelda and I danced the mitzvah. According to Torah, I have first danced with my bride, but we cannot touch. So she tempts me with the white handkerchief. And we hold on to the handkerchief between us, and we dance. Very slowly. She was so seductive, you know. She has eyes downcast, she could not look at me. Her uncle Lee, the Vodka, master of ceremonies. He gathered all the male members of the wedding party together to dance with my Zelda one at a time. You know, so I sit and I watch my Zelda dance.
Fyvush,
What?
you said you'd teach me the horror.
Oh, yes, yes. But first, the surprise. This old suitcase, you know? This is phonograph. Yeah, we got to put it on, so you got $10 over here. And this machine, Zelda and I learned how to do the jitterbug.
Oh, does it work? Oh, it's beautiful. Does it work?
Well, of course it works. What do you think? Here, look at it. Yeah, wait, I got some records here. I went up to the Catskills and bought these in an old antique shop. A bunch of us old Jews took the bus. I got a Yiddish klezmer in here.
Mitzi, come down. We're going to the store.
Hey, Sharon, I'm busy up here. I'll meet you later.
Come on, Mitzi. You spent too much time on the roof. Joey's meeting us down at the square. He's expecting you.
I'm busy, I tell you. I'll meet you later.
Mitzi, you go be with your friends. We can do all this later.
Yeah, schizo. Her Korean name's Bobai. She's boy crazy. But Kenny's gay. He told me so. I can do them later.
You know, you talk different with them.
My grandmother taught me to respect my elders. With them, I talk trash. You're an elder.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. Here. You put this in the machine. Oh, careful, careful. This old, like me, elder. Now we're going to dance the horror. Let's see. Here we go. A little scratchy, but it works. Give me your hand. Okay. No, you come back here. Come back here. Okay, now you put your, I'm going to put your, there you go. Now you put your hand on my shoulder. Okay? And now you take this step behind like this. That's it. And then you go like this and kick. Okay? And then you kick with the other foot. And then you're going to do exactly the same thing again. You kick, you know, you can kick a little higher than me. I'm afraid I'm going to pull something. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh.
Now we're doing it.
Right.
Look at you. You're a good Yiddish dancer. Look at you.
Thank you, Fyvush. This is fun.
I got the rest. Zelda, teach us other Yiddish dances, but too complicated. You know, too energetic for an old man. But next week, at the Benjamin Rosenthal Senior Center, we'll learn the line dance. Whatever.
My grandmother died before she could teach me other Korean dances. After she died, my dad wouldn't let the family speak Korean. We came to America to be American. We will be American. Make lots of money. I came up here to paint, write, learn Korean on my own. My parents are teaching me American.
Yeah. Well, my mother and father always had time for me. But no nonsense. No popular music, no swing dance. They did not approve. You know, we had to learn the jitterbug secretly.
Grandmother always had time for me. Her name was Myung-suk. She taught me Korean. My parents gave me her name. It means pure.
I like Myung-suk better. Myung-suk. Pure. You know, like your Bubby wanted you to be. Mitzi with her all over hair and sunglasses and wig is not Myung-suk.
I like Mitzi. All my friends have changed their names to be more American. John, Kimmy.
You are American.
Somehow I just don't fit in. My friends tell me my art and my poems are too Korean. My family just thinks I'm weird.
You are like caterpillar stuck in cocoon. You know, if caterpillar is inside a cocoon and never comes a beautiful butterfly, how can butterfly see how beautiful it is if it does not shed its cocoon?
Comparing me to a worm? Caterpillar?
If butterfly stays in cocoon, it will never show its inner beauty. And you can never know what your life will be.
I know what I want to do with my life. I want to paint. I want to dance. I want to write my own poems.
You will be what you find inside you. You know, discretion is guide for searching for your path in life. The streets, they want you to change. But you, Mitzi, have the choice. To become the me and Sook your Bubby knew was inside. You must give the butterfly freedom for that. Mitzi is just, it's an outer shell.
Shell? I'm not a shell. I go to college. I volunteer at the Teen Suicide Prevention Center and the homeless shelter. I have
Mitzi wears masks every day with the wig and the sunglasses and the red hair. What would me and Sook wear?
Noon Sook wears what I wear. Riddles, old man. You're talking riddles.
Yeah, riddle, puzzle. You know, when you give the butterfly freedom when you dance, but only when you dance. Dance shows butterfly, but not what it takes to be the butterfly. How's that for a riddle?
So, how'd you learn the jitterbug?
You changed the subject.
I learned that from you.
You learn quickly.
How'd you learn the jitterbug?
We learned secretly up here on the roof.
Your parents forbid you to swing, old man.
Believe me, they did the same with their parents, as Zelda did with her aunt and uncle, and I did with my parents. It goes on and on.
Well, my parents have forbidden me to do my Korean dances.
Why did they forbid you to do the dances?
It's another story.
Change the subject, huh? So, you practice up here what is forbidden down there. Using discretion, can you honor their wishes and satisfy your desires?
Again, you're talking riddles. How can you use discretion and not disrespect others, especially your parents?
You choose not to tell your mother and father that you honor their ancestors and dance. You know, you use discretion, but you are not discreet in your choice of hairstyle and hair color.
What is wrong with my hair?
Well, I find it the same as your choice in art. It's curious.
Curious?
Yes, curious. Look at this sunset. It's so hot.
Oh, it's hot because the sun is hot. Too hot to look at directly. With the smog and the earth warming, it's hotter.
Mitzi, you hide the truth behind the wig and the sunglasses. You should honor your Bubby's heritage.
My parents don't care what I do with my hair.
They should. Grandmother me and Sook would.
Why?
Why? Old people hold culture close.
So how did the two of you learn the jitterbug?
We were adults when we learned it.
You led that poor, helpless woman down the path to destruction.
We were adults. You know, we knew we would not be eternally damned if we put a little happiness into our lives. We rejoiced in the freedom to do as we please, if only for a few moments. So much unhappiness, the war, jitterbug seemed an acceptable choice.
Depends on your definition of acceptable.
Let's see. Your Bubby has left you with the choices.
And what choice would that be?
To be like me and Sook or to be like Mitzi. Choices.
Don't understand.
What's to understand?
Since my grandmother's death, my father's forbidden us to talk about it.
It's none of my business.
It was humiliating for her, and to tell you would be very embarrassing, and she'd think badly of me if I said anything.
You don't have to tell me that. It's none of my business.
I come up here to learn Korean dance and culture, to honor her, to carry on her heritage. When we brought grandmother to America, she refused to learn English. My dad wouldn't let us speak Korean unless we were talking to her.
Choices. My mother and father, like your Bubby, they were proud of our ancestry. But during times of trouble, they would stay in the neighborhood. World War II, very difficult time.
It's a difficult time for grandmother, too.
Your Bubby was very brave, huh?
young Fu.
Young Fu?
Young Fu.
No.
Young Fu. It was the Japanese word to describe the captive women who were forced into brothel service during World War II. Young Fu. Comfort women.
The Germans did the same thing with the gypsies and the Jews.
1944, when grandmother Myung-suk was 14, she was sold by her parents to the Japanese for 370 yen. 300 plus 70 yen to cover her father's debts. She was sold as a comfort woman, young Fu, a sex slave for the Japanese soldiers. She said that her family was starving and the only thing her father could do was to sell his oldest daughter to the Japanese military.
Yeah, like the Germans, the Japanese used slaves to build the war machine.
Grandmother had two choices. She could become a comfort woman or kill herself to protect her chastity. You see, Confucianism places a taboo on the value of chastity. At 14, grandmother wasn't old enough yet for marriage, and she was still a virgin. But even at 14, she understood that her chastity was more important than her life. At the thought of becoming, she tried to kill herself. Her parents cut her down and sent her off.
I sell there.
After the Japanese surrendered, she returned home. 7 months later, she gave birth to my dad. But she was so determined not to live the sad life that other comfort women had chosen. She told anyone who would listen to her about her ordeal.
Is that how your father found out about all this?
My dad found out about what happened to her and that he was half Japanese when he was teased by his classmates. They called him a seki, a bastard. And my grandmother, Shebseki, a whore.
Young Fu, comfort woman.
Her brothers and sisters thought her unfit for marriage and unfit to be part of the family. They forced her to move away to Busan.
And your father could not forget his origins.
My father swore as soon as he was old enough, he'd move out of Korea and never come back, take my grandmother with him.
Comfort woman, terrible thing.
Grandmother said she had to give up her name and she was known only by a number, 14776.
Yeah, Jews were tattooed as well. My Zelda, 56652. Right here on the arm, she wore long sleeves to cover.
She had a Japanese name, Leiko. I looked it up. It means arrogant. She was feisty.
Your father, was he like your Bubby?
My father is a bitter man. He hates all things Japanese and Korean. The Japanese for not apologizing for what they did to the Korean people, and the Koreans for being so weak. But he knew that in order for him to make a new life in America, he'd have to live in a Korean culture and speak Korean. But he wouldn't let Korean be spoken in his own home. This really ticked off my grandmother because as a comfort woman, she wasn't even allowed to speak her own language.
Germans did the same thing.
I'm writing a report on Kim Hak-soon, a former comfort woman. After years of silence, she finally decided to speak out against the Japanese government. I'll read you some of her testimony.
Sure.
I began my half-century of silence and the decision to end that silence. For 50 years, I have lived by bearing the unbearable. For 50 years, I have had a heavy, painful feeling, but kept thinking in my heart of telling my experience someday. As I speak now, my heart pounds against my chest, for what happened in the past was extremely unconscionable. How can the Japanese government tell such a lie? To deny its knowledge of the comfort women system? To deny that the comfort system was a historical fact? How can you ask me if this is true or not? You used to rape my body at the battlefields. And now, you disgrace my soul after 50 years. Yes, I was made a comfort woman, and I'm here now to tell you of my disgrace at your hands. These women were treated as military supplies, nothing more than playthings tossed about like toys, nothing more than objects to occupy the soldiers' time.
Mitzi, let me tell you something. There are many Japanese who cannot accept that they waged a war of aggression. There are Germans who deny that the Nazis murdered millions of people. You have brothers and sisters.
Yeah, 2 brothers, both older than me. They're a lot like my dad. They're both in the military, one in Iraq and one in California.
Yeah, one in the war, one preparing for war.
Do you really think I dishonor her by changing my name?
You must find that out for yourself. You know, there are many people who don't know how to do this.
So, you and Zelda very happy?
Yes. Yes, very happy. Did I tell you I went to Macy's today? Huh? Well, I went to Macy's today. I wanted to be with her, you know, near her. She used to wear this perfume, Mother of Toil. The sales lady must have thought I was nuts.
Maybe she thought you were some weirdo pervert.
We had some problems in our marriage. Especially when she...
When she what?
When she couldn't get her matzo balls to float, you know? I told her, I said, you got to cook them more. She says, what do you know from matzo balls? So, I had terrible colds in the winter, and she used to put a little black pepper in the soup, you know, to clear my sinuses. Achoo! It worked. She was a good wife.
Well, grandmother used to make kimchi, pickled cabbage. The Koreans believe it's good for the respiratory system. She cut the cabbage into little squares, add white radishes, red peppers, ginger, garlic, a little bit of sugar. 2 or 3 days later, it was ready to eat. But she didn't tell me that you had to refrigerate it to stop the fermentation.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it ferments. I could have made cabbage liquor. I had to learn that for myself. My kimchi just kept fermenting.
Oh, well, you see, your grandmother did leave you with some choices. She knew you would learn, but it was a hard way maybe, but you did learn.
Well, I learned the horror tonight.
That's true. Now, another surprise. I'm going to teach you the jitterbug. First, we got to change the record. Okay, here we go. This. Other side. Okay. Give a hold man a hand. Okay. Now you turn and you face me this time. Okay. Now you do with your foot like this. You do the opposite of me. Oh yeah, there you go. And then you go like this. And then back like this. And then wait. And maybe we do it one day. Okay. Okay, like this. This.
Oh, hey.
Now we're doing the jitterbug.
Yeah.
Now we're going to face each other.
Oh.
Okay. Do the same thing.
Ah.
It's happening now. You're doing the jitterbug.
Woo, I'm doing the jitterbug.
You are a good dancer. You can do all these dances. You know what? Next time, I teach you the Lindy. Yeah.
Okay, whatever the Lindy is.
Yeah.
Fyvush, it's getting late. I gotta get going.
Yeah, me too.
And if what you're telling me is true, the rats will be out.
The rats are in the streets these days. You know what? I gotta take the F train all the way back to Forest Hills.
Here. I'll help you.
Okay. Here, you just take the bag. I'll take the box. All right, we're off.
I've got choices to make.
Yeah. Me too. Cigars. There you are, Teddy, with your slingshot. Yeah, we had good times up here, remember? Girls would play down below on the street. We threw water on them. Oh, your sister, such a makasheva. You know, Hannah, she was a real witch. She came up here and beat the crap out of you. She couldn't catch me, though. I was too fast for her. Yeah. She did not like me. No, she hated me. And one time she gave me the evil eye, the Ein Nahora. Stared right through me like a knife it was. She was a witch. But she could not catch me. She caught you. Got up with you, give you the black eye. You probably give you another black eye because he thought the Irish kids beat you. You should have told him, you know. But, of course, you tell him, and then she come up here and break your leg. She could have done that. Yeah. She never got married, did she? She was a spinster, an old maid, an alta makasheva, an old bitch. Yeah. Now, here is Greta Silverberg. She was a looker. She was a woman of great beauty. Because you know that, Terry. You and her in the park that time. I got to tell you something. We were in the bushes watching the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, Greta. Oh, Greta. Greta. Oh, Greta. Greta. She was a good wife for you for 44 years. And look at here, here's Gus Gephardt. Now you and he never got along, Terry. Why was that? You know, was it Greta? I know he had his eye on her. And wait a minute, wait. Yes, you know that night in the park? Gus was with us. He was in the bushes watching the whole thing. And that was the night, Tibby. Let's see. July, what was it? little Tebby. You never knew you had it in you, did you? Skinny as you were, 135 pounds, soaking wet. Poor Gus. He could have been a great baseball player. He was All-American in high school. You know, could have played with Brooklyn, could have played Yankee Stadium. You know, but his papa died 2 weeks after he graduated. And he had to take over his papa's bakery. What do you think about his papa? Do you think that that was true about him being a Nazi in hiding? I don't believe it. How could a man who loved to play, who loved to bake beautiful things, be a Nazi? It's not possible. And poor Gus. Here's Herman Schul. Remember Herman? His papa, Rabbi Schul. Herman ran off to Hollywood. He had chutzpah. And, changed his name to James Collins. Irish Jew, whoever heard of such a thing. But you know, he couldn't have got into picture shows with a name like Herman Schul. He got into some kind of trouble. The judge offered him a choice. He says, you go to prison or you join the Marines. So he joined the Marines. He got killed at Horsen Reservoir when his Marine unit was surrounded by the Chinese. Choices. Yeah. Here is high school graduation. Miss Pridley, English teacher. She even looks like an English teacher. She was a sweet lady, you know. And here's Mr. Roach, taught history and math, shaved his head to coach the football. And here's Mr. Schwartz. And he was a music teacher and principal. Oh, look at here. Here's the whole music class, and there you are, Teddy, with your violin. Oh, look at this. Here's Papa dancing with my Zelda at the wedding. He was making pretty good money in those days, you know. Sold men's suits for 47 years for Macy's department store. And it's still there, Macy's. 34th Street between 6th and 7th Avenues. Macy's. I was there yesterday. My Zelda was a beautiful bride. Mom and sister took 3 days to make the hoopah for the wedding. Should be a good, strong hoopah, Fyvush. And here's some glass for Mom and Papa's wedding. Better that you could use that rather than crush my good wine glasses. Yeah, the Manischewitz flowed. Danced with my Zelda all night. I never want to touch that Manischewitz again. And you played the violin, Tebby. Oh, you were so good. You could have played Carnegie Hall. You were so good. But you had some choices too. Yeah. You should have had the operation. You know? It's very difficult, a big operation. Sure, it's a big operation, but for the coronary bypass, but it's not critical. You could have done it. You didn't want to wind up like your papa, did you? Face down in the street? What do Irish cops know from Jews? Putting him in the body bag like that showed no respect. Cops don't know nothing. You should have had the operation, Teddy. But you took the easy way out. How was it, waiting to die? Was it easy? Or did you just give up? Ah, Terry. Bad choice. Here is my Zelda eating latkes that my mama made for her. She said we weren't eating right. She's too skinny. Give her some knishes, some latkes, some borscht. Zelda was a good cook, and after Aaron she had a beautiful body. I never complained after that. Except when she had her episodes. Nazis, Pashkudnyak, Mamzer, bastards. Something very special.
Let me guess. Tea.
No, it's not tea. This is knedel. This is matzo ball soup like my Zelda make.
Doesn't look very appetizing. Those must be the matzo balls floating.
Yeah, sure. Those are Zelda's matzo balls, Mama's soup. Yeah, she never wrote the recipe down, but I can hear her now. Hey, first you take flour, then you add an egg and a little chopped up onion. You make the matzo balls as big as your fist. After you pour over the hot chicken soup, and the matzo balls float at the top. If they no float, it's a new recipe. But they always float. Zelda's recipe was a little bit different. Don't tell Mama, but Zelda's was better. She had a little ginger and nutmeg. Make the puffs a little bit smaller. It's good. Here, you try. Huh?
This is good.
You see? Mom and Zelda are good cooks.
I would have liked to know Zelda. What is she like?
My Zelda, she was Baal Musti, mistress of the house. To Zelda, food had special meaning when she prepared the meal, and meal was magical and spiritual when it came to family. She loved the crowds and the family around the table, the clattering of dishes, the tinkle of the glasses and the forks touching on plates. It was as if she was saying, I made this meal to see the magical family before me, the happy closeness of my family and friends. It was more than food she prepared for us. That was what she missed as a child of 9. The table that her family gathered round was lost from that goddamn war. It was a distant memory. She did not know what to do. The sacredness of the family, when it was lost, she would go into the street, yelling and screaming in Yiddish. Our little family was the closest she could get to sounds of joy that for hers at 9 years of age, hers, so long ago. We take for granted our lives. We lose importance of a simple meal and what the sacredness of that meal means to those who've lost so much. And we have it here in our hands and we let it slip away. Zelda did not have many friends. She was not shy. She was just cautious. She lived in two worlds. The new world of America and the old world, which she could not forget. And when she remembered the old world, she was not Zelda. It took me a long time to get close to her. We were like any other married couple. You know, we had good times and bad times. She would discipline the children, I would coddle them. She was a good woman, a good wife, a good mother. But the Zelda that she would never let me see, I learned about after she was gone. She was 9 years old when the Nazis stomped into Austria. I learned a year ago that her family was Eingestadt.
Eingestadt?
Wealthy bankers. You know, the Bernstein family had a big house in Linz. The old Bernsteins were on the first floor. Zelda and her mother and father were on the second floor, and Aunt and Uncle Lee were on the third floor.
Wow, big house.
A mansion it was. The Nazis confiscated. And Aunt and Uncle Lee came here to America. They lived in tenement, 2 doors down. No children. They never saw anyone on the street. Very strange couple. Zelda and her sister found them with help from synagogue. They were very strict with her.
So, how did Zelda die?
Why do you want to know this? You are a young girl with future. Why do you want to know how an old Jew died? She died as she lived in the mystery.
I'm sorry, old man, but you're telling me things that need more answers. If you don't want me to know, then don't tell me. Don't talk to me.
Okay. I will tell you. I have diary that Uncle Lee kept during the war years. I will read it to you. It is in Yiddish, but I translate. March 10, 1938. German Chancellor Hitler orders troops to Austrian frontier. Hetzen incites riots by Austrian National Socialist Party in Vienna, Linz, Graz, and Klagenfurt. April 19, 1938. 11 o'clock, Nazi troops march down the street in front of a house. Nazi officers tells all Jews to come out of their homes or the Nazis would drag them out by their hair. He told us to bring our litters with us. Sister and I look out the window. Father tell us to hide. We hid. And father and mother opened the door. The German officer yelled, "You filthy Jews, on your knees. Clean the walk with your tongue. I will not walk on this unclean walkway. On your knees, Jews, lick it clean." Mama run inside. Nazi officer tells Sergeant, "Get her." Papa says, "I will get her for you." He closed the door. German officer go into our house to take Mama and Papa back to street. Mama shoot Papa. I run downstairs. Mama point the gun at me. Mama shoot herself. April 20th, 1938. Sit shiver for Mama and Papa. We are all loaded onto the truck. Zelda run from synagogue. She sees us on the truck. She screams, runs, and waves as we leave.
So she killed her husband, and then she killed herself?
Yes.
Licked the sidewalk with their tongues?
They refused. They refused. Mama, the woman killed husband, then killed herself. You know, what is that? Is it murder? Suicide? What? Escape? Discretion. Choices. There are choices.
Escape.
Zelda watched from a few blocks away as her family was loaded onto the trucks. She waved. They never knew how she was picked up. And she would not talk about it. I found his diary in bunks. It was painful to read, especially when he talked about Zelda seeing her family taken away. She ran after, screaming and yelling, "Memi, tatinka, tatamami." Then I knew. I remember she had the same episodes out here. She would run out into the streets, yelling and screaming out there, "Memi, tatinka, tatamami." Same thing. In the diary, Lee talked about Zelda's father and his long, hard journey to the labor camps where he died. He talked about the smell of death in those camps as worse than the smell of stale, rotten eggs, an odor I could not leave behind.
So what happened to the rest of Zelda's family?
Little is known of how Zelda's mother died. The women and children were separated from the men from the very beginning. You know? Lee did not see his wife until months after the war. They finally found each other through a Jewish agency set up to reunite the families here in New York City. At one point, they were in the same room together. Yeah? But years in those camps, they did not recognize one another. A couple of weeks later, the agency brought them back together. They exchanged those wrinkled photographs. They given each other that day. They were loaded on the truck in Linz. After that, they kept to themselves, never trusting anyone. Sad. Because you can't go through the Holocaust experience without being changed by the pain of survival. I don't know if Zelda read the diary. She must have. Because afterwards, after Lee died, she started behaving strange.
Strange. How?
The neighbors heard her yelling out in the street, "Memi, tatinka." Der Tumult verblunget mein ganze Mishpocha. I am confused and bewildered. I am wandering alone, Mama, without my family. So they called me. The rabbi came. Friends came to help calm her down. The police came. They wanted to take her to the hospital. But the rabbi said, no, she will be okay. He said that many Holocaust survivors feel alone, even when surrounded by many loved ones. And he said texts in Torah would help ease the sadness, help her to live with the pain. But after several episodes, it was difficult to deny that something was wrong. Soon, I was visiting her in the hospital. The rabbi visited the children. They came by and visited. She screamed at me to take her home. You know, I did. Together, we walked out of the hospital. 2 days later, 2 days later, I found her in her bed, asleep. I closed the door so not to disturb her. And then I begin to worry about her taking her medicine. And I go back in the room, and on the table next to her bed, there is the empty medicine bottle. I tried to wake her. She wouldn't. My Zelda was gone.
Fyvush.
I want to be with her.
Can't be with her, she's gone.
I want to be with her.
Oh no, suicide?
Yes,
Thought about how you would do it?
yes, we have many good times up here.
You mean over the edge?
Well, the building is tall enough.
Oh, but it's tall enough, all right. Fyvush, don't move until I get back.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Do you have a cell phone?
What would I be doing with a cell phone?
I gotta make a call. I'll be right back. I can't leave you. I've gotta stay here. Fyvush, you need help.
What kind of help?
And I'm not the kind of help you need.
I don't need help.
Yes, you need help.
I need my Zelda.
She wouldn't want you thinking about suicide.
Why not? She did.
You said she made a mistake. You wouldn't be making a mistake. Taking your life.
Well, she did it.
Fyvush, suppose, do you really have what it takes to do it?
Sure. What do you mean, the guts? The guts to jump?
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of guts to put one leg over the edge and then the other, but you have the guts to push yourself off.
Yeah, sure. Zelda did it.
You said suppose she thought it was time to take her medication, but instead she took it all by mistake.
All. She took it all, and her pain and suffering ended.
She made a mistake. You wouldn't be making a mistake.
If I jump over the edge, all my pain and suffering will end. And if the old women are right, I will not see her in heaven unless I do this.
What do you mean?
They say no shiva for her, no rites of mourning for the suicide. I told the old woman, I said she was Meshuggah. She was not in her right mind.
Fyvush, if the old women are right, then you won't see her again. Because your religion must make an allowance for a mistake. But your suicide wouldn't be a mistake. Do this, and you will never see her again. But if you wait, enjoy the memories of her. You will meet her in heaven. And there, you can be with her forever.
Memories. That is all I have. Memories. Memories destroyed her. How can I keep them from destroying me?
Fyvush, I am not into religion. I'm not Buddhist or Christian or Jew. But as a Korean, I follow the teachings of Confucius and the poems of our ancestors. In his writings, Confucius forbids a person from hurting his body in any way. If you're contemplating suicide, you're trying to end the pain of losing Zelda. Your judgment's clouded by your pain. Fyvush, don't mistake losing your pain with ending your life. The two are very different. I don't think Zelda knew what she was doing when she took her medication. I remember a poem by Huang Qi. My wish to see you is fulfilled in dreams. Whenever I visit my joy, you visit me. So let us dream again some future night, starting at the same time to meet on our way. You are her joy. and she yours. Now, remembering your youth, you have something to share with her. Long ago, on the rooftop of this old tenement, you and Zelda dreamed and planned your future together as you cuddle next to that old chimney. Give your life more time, Fyvush. Enjoy the past and be grateful of the time you had with her. Meet Zelda on another night when the two of you can reminisce about the past and dream of still another future. There's plenty of time. You're the only one to keep those memories alive.
Memories.
A wise old man asked me recently, how can the caterpillar see the butterfly inside if she does not shed the cocoon that surrounds her? If she stays in her cocoon, she will never reveal her inner beauty. The Nazis took away Zelda's childhood dreams. They took away her innocence and forced her to stay in her cocoon. You coaxed, charmed, and sweet-talked the beautiful butterfly that was Zelda out of her cocoon of fear and distrust. Don't let what the two of you had die on the dirty streets below. You okay, Fyvush? Here, sit down.
I don't know.
Sit down.
You're learning too quickly.
I had a good teacher. Fyvush, I have a surprise for you.
What kind of surprise?
Close your eyes. Never mind. Don't open them until I tell you. Keep your eyes closed. I'm almost ready. Okay, you can open your eyes now.
Mitzi, it's such a beautiful costume.
I'm Yon-suk. I am no longer Mitzi. I dance the Navi, the dance of the butterfly. Fyvush, would you like some tea? I made it myself.
I would be honored. He's 120. You should live to be 120. It's a long life to you. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
No, beg of the truth. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
You're getting close.
Bye.